Dear family, dear friends and colleagues, I would really appreciate it if you could watch this video from the beginning to the end. It's really important to me. I've been recently behaving strangely, recycling crisp packets, eating cheese made of coconut and other unusual things. This behavior is, even for me, quite unusual. I would almost say unprecedented, and it's because I believe the situation we are in at the moment is unprecedented. In 2017, 15,000 scientists signed a letter called Warning to Humanity, Second Notice. Seriously, 15,000 scientists from universities such as Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, all world renowned climate change centers. These scientists were saying that our world is in such a crisis from climate change and biodiversity loss and other related environmental issues that most forms of life on Earth will be annihilated by the end of this century unless we take radical action. This is within the lifetime of my children, possibly your children as well. Even worse, IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, a UN body, which doesn't create new scientific knowledge, they basically just gather and compile what we know already, based on all these peer-reviewed studies and everything. They said that we only have about a decade to prevent the worst and reverse catastrophic climate change, and basically the collapse of our civilization. Currently we are on the course of 3 to 4 degrees warming, which basically means uninhabitable Earth, and lives of our children cut short by things such as shortage of food, extreme heat waves, fires, floods, diseases, all that horrible stuff. I don't want this future for my children, and I'm going to do everything possible that a democratic society allows me to do, and also that my own conscience allows me to do. Are you going to join me? You think I'm exaggerating, or I've been brainwashed. Imagine your child, and I wouldn't wish this to anyone, imagine your child was given a diagnosis of a life-limiting disease, and the doctor says, unless you do this and that as soon as possible, you start eating this, stop eating that, change your lifestyle, we can't avoid the worst. Would you do it? I would. And now imagine this diagnosis and the suggested treatment is confirmed by 15,000 doctors. Would you do it? I would, if I realize what is at stake and if I believe these doctors. You know, we have a lot of reasons not to believe the scientists. Cognitive dissonance. It's difficult to admit we are all part of the problem. It's all quite abstract, and it's difficult to relate to something that we haven't experienced in our personal life or in the history of humankind. It's so abstract that when I've recently met some people who actually admit that we have a problem, but the way they talk about it, it's like as if they were describing a catastrophic film, what happens in the future, and then you can just switch off the telly and it's all fine and back to normal. Or as if you ask them about the future and they describe it like as if it was some kind of a computer game. Yeah, we killed and then, you know, the planet will survive. You know, we killed and then you start the game again. But we are part of this. We can't just watch it. We are part of this, and it's going to affect us all. One climate scientist said that to be or to work as a climate scientist is like as being part of a really, really slow motion horror film that takes decades to unfold. Because we've been warned, NASA first warned about the potentially catastrophic consequences of climate change in 1989. We've been warned, and still nothing is happening. Here we are in 2019 discussing Brexit and destroying Amazon rainforest. Let's not be part of this horror film or computer game. Let's do everything possible to either avoid it, and if it's not possible anymore, at least slow it down. Why it's abstract? Stalin, who unfortunately is very well known in my country, said that the death of one person is a tragedy, but death of millions of people is statistics. Let's not be part of these statistics. Maybe you think that there are other things to care about, and I do care deeply about people with dementia, about other things. But if we lose this battle, we lose all the others as well. Most scientists think that we still have a short window to act, but we need to do it as soon as possible. Soon it will be too late, and time is running out. That was in the letter that I mentioned before as well. It's not all horrible. Things are changing. Africa is building a biggest ever forest structure that can be seen from space. Renewable energy is becoming cheaper than fossil fuels. China uses army to plant trees. We know exactly where the emissions are coming from and what to do. We just need to win the minds of people. Now you must be thinking, oh, and what does she want from me? I would like to invite you to join the global climate change strike on the 20th and the 27th of September. We've seen the children striking before, haven't we? I've seen some pictures of children holding banners saying, "Stop denying that the earth is dying," or "When I grow up, I want to be alive." This is not normal. They clearly understand the same way as the scientists do, that we need to fight for our lives. Let's not leave them alone, and let's fight for their lives the same way we would in any other situation if the lives of our children would be under threat. Do what Secretary General Antonio Guterres of United Nations sent a letter to the Guardian saying, these school children have grasped something that seems to elude many of their elders. We are in a race of our lives and we are losing. Do we really need 60 degrees Celsius temperatures and half of Europe underwater and another half on fire to realize, actually, this is not great? If you join the strike, you will be in a good company of many organizations who already joined, the biggest German-French trade unions, Royal Institute of British Architects, and many others. And last thing I wanted to say, I would like to quote Pope Francis, who is a cool guy. He said, let's be on the right side of the history, because maybe this is the most important thing we can all realize and we can all do for us and for our children as well. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it.